Whenever you're ready. Good morning, guys. A great morning to all of those who tune into the realest thing in the world, coming to you from 126 Liloni Street, Queenstown, TBN Studios. So I think of yesterday evening, I learned of the passing of Miss Gafoor, who's said to be one of the founders of the Gafoor's group of companies. I didn't know she was a doctor. It had me, it's dawned upon me in the thought of when great persons pass, how is that void filled? And I look back at the world, it's not filled. That's why people are considered to be great in things that people do would have been considered to be achievements. So when the Mahatma Gandhis and the Martin Luther Kings, and I said Mahatma Gandhis because this was a period of time. This was a period in our world when great men were forged. When they died off, Malcolm X could have been likened to Martin Luther King, and they might have had other great leaders who could have been likened to Mahatma Gandhi of the time, not likened to leaders who would have made the effort. They most obviously would have been great African leaders who were cut down. Gaddafi could have been seen to be a good leader because he did good for his people. To what extent, we don't know, but we're looking at the world in the world perspective. When I learned of the passing of Miss Gafoor, and I read what is said about her, you realize this for a woman who didn't have much of a public life. She did a lot. She would have achieved a lot. Not a public life, had no public life as a matter of fact. Because before this photograph, I would have never seen Mrs. Gafoor. She passed on sometime after, before last night at the age of, I think, 84. 84. But when you look at people and what they've done, you have to sit back and think, when these people leave, who fills that void? When you look at great past leaders, what we have and have replaced them is a different bunch. You can't say a selfish bunch, but you got the Jeff Bezos and the people who come and they're more about themselves. Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King, like many great leaders before them, it's just because it's so recent, would have really had that zest in them to struggle for people. The fight was about people. The fight in leadership now becomes about money. Who's got the most money? It's a struggle for money. That's why we're constantly accused about corruption and although we have history to give us examples of who we should be, how or what direction we should evolve in as human beings, and how we should treat each other, what it means to be good, what it means to be caring, what it means to be empathetic. We have obviously changed path. Human beings have become more selfish. No, I can tell you the world is in a better place than it's ever been. Because less people die now. any time before. What has happened is the dynamics has changed. So when under the Stalin era, millions of people would have died and you would have not heard about it in a newspaper or any part of the world. Today, somebody could die deep in a jungle in Africa and you could have a video of that. So you're having that experience, that dawns on you. Do you believe people are no longer hungry in Africa, no longer dying? Do you believe? No, it continues. Do you believe slavery has been eradicated? Today, there are more slaves in captivity. Slavery is captivity, human captivity. So there are more slaves today than was ever before. Child labor. So this is not a result of human beings being worst or we becoming beast-like, but this is directly related to the fact that our population has never been to 8 billion. When there was a massive slave trade, they didn't have 8 billion people. I don't think they had 4 billion people. The world didn't have 4 billion people when they had the slave trade. So you just got more people now to enslave. You understand? So, all of this being said, I'm reading what's said about this woman, Ms. Gafoor, someone I've never met, who's a co-founder of a company that has done so much for people, a lot that I have known about and reminded, right in this studio. The doctor behind the dialysis clinic at Annandale and a few dialysis clinics across the country, who's one of the co-founders of the clinics, came in this studio and spoke about diabetes and better ways of living. And Ms. Gafoor was one of the founders. The Gafoors group of companies have supported people and funded people, created jobs. You might be sitting on a toilet from Gafoor, your zinc sheet might be from Gafoor, your nail might be from Gafoor. Look at how they played a role in your life and the development of this country. There's a likelihood that every home in this country, if you were to take all things, let me say you build a squatting house and you didn't go to Gafoor and buy, it is likely that the zinc that you took off from wherever you took off to build a squatting house would have come from Gafoors. There's a likelihood that there's some proofing in this room came from Gafoors. The drywalls used came from Gafoors. Those things I could remember because in designing this room, I went and bought them myself. And the only place I had it was Gafoors. You imagine envisioning an industrial era. Who else? If not the Gafoors, how else would the load or the demand be filled if it was not for the Gafoors? What did the Gafoors see? What did they envision to cause them to build? The Gafoors have been into manufacturing for so many years. So many things laid down. And then you look and you calculate. You've been in this place. You've been so many times. And you didn't realize this woman would have been one of the individuals behind this. Tells you how lacking we are sometimes. And I want to read from what's being said about Ms. Gafoor here. The death is announced of the late Dr. Amira Ghafoor, 83 years of age. So she had a good life, fairly good life. Of Ghafoor's Gardens, Cummings Lodge, East Coast, Demerara. She was the wife of Sattar Ghafoor, and my condolences to Mr. Ghafoor and the Ghafoor family from TBN and the Guyanese Critic. She was the mother of Omar Ghafoor, Raphael Ghafoor, and Raoud Ghafoor. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the Raoud properly. The grandmother of Aliyah Ghafoor, Asher Ghafoor, Leonard Ghafoor, Alexander Ghafoor. You're going down sisters and brothers, and some sisters would have, brothers and things would have passed. She was a founding member, together with Dr. Dubé, Order of Canada, of the Dubé Ghafoor Medical Center. Now this Dubé, I think Mr. Dubé was here, and funny enough, they call me Buru, Dr. Buru, and his Dubé. And he found that funny after. They give dialysis to patients at a subsidized, reduced cost. They help people, they save the lives of people. But you never heard about it. And the Ghafoors have been doing charitable work to the tune of billions of dollars over the years. And you've never heard about it. Not one time. That's commendable. So she was the founder, co-founder of that. I suppose that Mr. Ghafoor played a role in that. Late director of Ghafoor Group of Companies, founder, publisher, editor of the Arts Journal, co-founder of the American Amir Ghafoor Institute, affiliated with the Cambridge University, UK, prominent author and literary critic. I didn't know. So, all of that being said about Miss Ghafoor, and you ask yourself, who replaces her? She's a mom. She has been a part of a business that has done extremely well. She might have approved my credit with Ghafoor's. I don't know what role she played in that. Because we got a credit line of millions of dollars with the Ghafoors. She's a director, obviously credit approving millions of dollars in credit. We got come, and then they're at the table and people say, you know, this is the Guyanese Critic company. What are we doing here? She might have played a role that I don't know. But you ask yourself, so people die every day, and it's a sad situation. It's a sad situation. But people who have contributed so much, like we're talking, me and Vincent was talking the idea, and as a black man come back here and had mostly a PNC background and, you know, understanding, and when some questions a lot of things and so on. And he said, constantly Vincent has brought this up to me. So when from time to time, he would be with me when I'm covering Jack News, outreaches and so on. And he says, this man can't be right all the time. How does he have all the answers? There has to be some tricky, but it's eating him out. It's eating. Vincent is telling me, he says, eating me out that I can't figure out. He gotta be lying, man. He gotta be lying. And the other day we had a discussion. He said, listen to this man press conference, and he answers every question. And then he said, man, this is too good to be true. He said, he's seeing it, and he's trying to find things to dispute what he's saying, and he can't find them. And then a day he come up, he just said, what happened if Jagdeo is no longer in the pitch? Everybody's fighting to pull Jagdeo down. Have you ever thought of it? Like, do you think Burnham was a loss? Do you really think Burnham was a loss? Ask yourself. The times we were in, the circumstances we were going through in this country, do you think Burnham was a loss to this country? Try to remember, other than people who are fanatical about somebody, try to remember what really Burnham, or how Burnham's tenure with impacted Guyanese at the time. Do you think he was a loss? Do you think Jagan was a measurable loss? Dr. Jagan fought and oversaw a time in this country that there was massive transformation. But it was just about 5 years. You're talking about Miss Gafoor, and it's like her life would have started early. Obviously, her life would have started in the 20s. You're talking about 64 years of a person contributing and doing things. Ask yourself, if Jagdeo wasn't here, how would that impact on your life? Do you think I could have held up the mantle and maneuvered and outmaneuvered the PNC and the rigging during the 2020? You think Irfan Ali could have done that, stood up to them? You think? Just close your eyes and think. Even the man who didn't like Jagdeo, the PNC man, ask yourself. You know your people. Ask yourself, where would he be? Fat Albert would have saved us. Fat Albert, who now comes back as the savior for people sharing an umbrella and covering latrine. Fat Albert must be repulsed at latrines because he never shit in a latrine. His fat ass would pass through a latrine. Just let it dawn upon you. Remember the dark days? Who would have bring we out from there? While there was still massive economic growth. All the house lads, the vision for the house lads and everything. Something to think about. When great leadership is gone, ask yourself how it's going to be replaced. You understand? Ask yourself. I have never met Mr. Gafoor until maybe 2 months ago. I visited his office. Someone was visiting his office. And I said it would be only common courtesy to say hello. I did. Never seen his wife. But think about what Mr. Gaffur would have achieved just having this woman supporting him. And think about your life. Think about the people in your life, how you want to support them. Think about how you want to be remembered. You know, when it started, the Guyanese Critic started, it's fun. Everybody, hey, critic. Then got serious. And I realized the importance of what I do. Then it got important. Whereas I have to. Gotta come in the morning, gotta talk to people. Because people are continually calling and saying, yo, I got this problem, I got that problem. Give us your perspective. Like somebody messaged me yesterday from the Ministry of Culture and said, I appreciate how you address stereotyping. Because how I'm made out to be and who I really am and how I see, because other people, so first thing, somebody message says, okay. Another woman, Indian, message and said, I think you might have a problem with Indian people. I ain't got a problem with Indian people. I just lay down the facts. You got to figure out what's getting in your head. You think I got a problem with Indian people? You follow me and the fight and the struggles I've been through. You think I got a problem with Indian people? Black people thought I racist. They come and protest in front of my house. Based on that. What happened? Truth can be confusing sometimes. Change can be riveting. People in one change, they're holding down. But life is what it is. We can't change the facts. We can't change the facts. So look back at your life and use the opportunity of the past and of Ms. Gaffur's to dawn upon what do you plan to achieve. If we had people replacing great people, the world would have been a great place. But there's only loss of great people. There have not been many men that have come after Mahatma Gandhi that could be likened to Mahatma Gandhi. There have not been many men that came after Martin Luther King. We seem to find great people just one and far. And like stars that are engulfed or become black holes, they just disappear and there's this huge void left. What do we do about that? Me? I was told about where my name came from. The teddy bear wasn't Ingmar. Maisha was his name. Maisha. It's Mikhail was the teddy bear's the 1979 Olympic mascot. Yes. Maisha. And when I was told of what Mikhail Gorbachev did to bring down the USSR of the time. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Critic. I hear you stating something about Barnum. Barnum wasn't a great loss to this country? Huh?
If Barnum wasn't a great loss to this country, at the
Barnum was
time,
a great
first thing
loss.
you gotta help me. I'm 44 years of age. How old are you?
I'm 47. I'm 47 years of age.
Well,
Barnum was a great loss to this country.
in what way? How would have it impacted you?
Barnum was one of the founders for CARICOM. Barnum set up NIS. Barnum set up Co-op Bank to help poor people. The small man is the real man. You go and open Co-op Bank, account with Co-op Bank for $1. Barnum set up this
Help me
bank.
out, help me out. And as we go through, no, we ain't doing with you with this morning. Co-op bank, the failed co-op bank.
No. Listen to me. Co-op Bank failed out to teach intruded on it. We talking this.
After who intruded on it?
Thieves. Right when the shepherd gets struck, the sheep get scattered. So you can't co-op, you can't.
That would have been after the fact. Okay, let's agree on
No,
that.
it's after the fact.
After the fact, cool. Yeah.
Barnum set up an agriculture fund to help give agriculture loans, not like iPad and then people who there for gimmicks. Real agriculture loans for agriculture development. Barnum set up UMRP, Upper Majority Development Project.
Just to make sure we don't discredit anybody. Statistics show that iPad, I don't know what Agriculture Bank did, but because of the times have changed, remember we grow as a country. Nobody, not the Agriculture Bank at least, have done what iPad has done. Commercial banks are doing bigger, but iPad has done far more than the Agriculture Bank because you see the development.
No.
That is a matter of fact because there would not have been a large agriculture industry as it is today.
No, Critic, you're wrong.
Here, listen to me. Here. We got done this conversation. I know what I'm talking about.
No, listen.
No. Me and I know. We got done this conversation. If you're in a time, so I'm agree we bring in with Barnum thing. So in agreement to that. You're in a time where iPad is funding more tractors, trucks, and everything else. And you tell me the Agriculture Bank, iPad didn't do nothing? iPad ain't do nothing? I think the interest rate is through the roof. But you can't say iPad didn't do nothing. There was the industrial revolution in that time. Barnum must be paying for seeds. Barnum must be paying, giving loan for seed and God in heaven knows what. Now it's tractor, trucks, combine. I am saying, and I say it again, you can't have or feel a loss for pain. You can't feel a loss for pain. Right? Hello, good morning.
Morning. Just to add to the call there just now. President's College was a Barnum initiative. It was a good initiative. The Linden Suicide Highway stood up. We also had these days, we finding out that clay brick is a good insulator. We finding out these days that people who got problem with flour, heading back to rice flour, heading to rice flour. But all in all, me addition to this thing now, Barnum had good ideas and good, he had good ideas. But now the map party left in the hands of some people who can't divide 65 by 2.
No, well, here was me problem. Here. And we losing track of the discussion. I was not talking specifically about achievements. I was talking. So Ms. Gafour has passed on. And I'm looking at the achievements. I'm thinking, what a loss. At the time when Barnum had died, a lot of things was falling apart, right? Because Barnum sell the train line and is Barnum hand tandem. Barnum is simultaneously while they're doing these things.
I missed the first part of the live, but thought you were asking if Barnum actually made any contribution.
No. There are many things that Barnum made contribute. I am talking about a loss or a feeling for a loss at the time.
Gafour is a great loss.
Right? So I'm talking about loss and the fact that Barnum at the time had created so much confusion and disdain in people's heart and mind. It would not overwhelming feel like he was a loss. You understand?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, you do go to like me. You believe I come and people find out I was a serial killer. You understand? People go, oh God, but Critic did so many good things. No. The last thing that I did is done. I done with it. Nobody wants to see or hear about me again. You understand? So it came down to him failing so miserably when he died. Except for people, loyal, fanatical people, he wasn't a last to nobody or felt as a last to nobody. Yes, sir. Because this country is never said it was on a trajectory that you're thinking, well, this is a real last. We gonna fall back here now. Nothing thing changed for the better after Barnum.
All right.
It's never said change for the worse. Safe, buddy.
Yeah. That's good. All right. Take care.
Safe. So I ain't disputing what he did. Yes. No. After how much years we go in and do back the Linden Soosdijk Highway. Good initiative. Open up Linden, open up the backside industry.
Critic, morning.
Hi, good morning.
Let me tell you something. Barnum was one of the worst leaders ever had in history. I'm 60 years old. You hear me? When the Indian got the Jandi and the Hindu wedding, it want all the items that we have to use. Instead of that, we used to get up early and split channel, soak it, go to your neighbor house and put that bucket and basin for full drop water in national. All them company in town and it fall flat. He used to send out the money at Switzerland for your own use. He open national service. If you can't go to national service, you have to go to national. When a coolie girl go in there, they come to their fucking belly big. Because of what? The black man them live with the coolie girl and take advantage from them. Where were we all the time? The worst ever.
Have you here, just to make sure for clarity. Right? Have you ever met anybody, Indian woman, that went into the national service that came out pregnant?
No.
Well, we gonna heard about it because we gonna put up on pause. And in this day and age, you gotta be careful. Knowing propaganda, how it goes, people might have been saying that. The PPP might have been sharing the idea.
I was literally going up hearing that.
To bring down the national service ID. Because in general, Indians have not been too much interested in following the police force and the national service and the army. They've never been that way, right? So it might have been an attempt to make sure its people don't go in that direction. So let me put that part on pause. But
yes, we suffer in this country, and we Guyanese Indians, we here quick to turn because the Negro them is so loyal to Barnum because this country was on the verge of collapse. And when they vote, PPP only win it by a blink in 1992 because they vote back for that party.
All right, I hear you. Thanks for your contribution.
Later. Right.
Not necessarily agree with everything the Indian girl with national service, because you got to show me. If you could show me a Douglas Pickney, you can say it's a national service Pickney, because I hear him, but that story too. But in this day and age, for instance, I can't agree with that, knowing I then imagine whole day people spiraling all kind of magic. You understand? People spiraling all kind of thing, saying all kind of thing, lying, knowing the PNC what is do now. You understand? Then the man check a regular election and come back and say, Mingo and so they in court represent. Before the man gonna say, yes, I've been guilty, I committed this act and serve the time. You understand? Hello, good morning.
Yes, brother. Morning.
Yeah, brother.
Listen, the last caller said some things that are out of touch, out of context, and lies. Yeah, about
Well, I have.
national service and Burnham and what's not. So that narrative have been going around for years, and I was lucky to see a day that at an event that was hosted at the Umaniano many years ago, a former speaker by the name of Saith Noreen, right, got up and clarified for John Public the perception that Burnham had and Wheaton Flour, etc. And he gave some information, which I would want to believe is true, about how we end up with a shortage of wheat in Guyana to make the flour, right? And I wish that kind of information would circulate more because of the rubbish Madam Collins said about banning flour when them.
No, but here was one of the things that Ronald just think. So one of the things that I have chosen to do, if you notice, I listen and then I interject, right? Because too many times we watching at one another and assuming we're thinking. No, you got talk where you're thinking. And then I have to tell you, hear me action, me say, you ever see, any picnic come out at the answer? And she said no. Now, I, with a certain degree of certainty, could tell you that thing made up. Because first thing is, you there in an area 6 months in training and somebody gonna get screwed. Because somebody trying to screw somebody. I can't imagine I there in the national service. And me and a girl get up close and personal. And all she thinking when she mind is she virginity. You understand what I'm saying? Even in the police, you that close perimeter, so are we going, like even university? No, when you go university, the only thing people thinking about at prom time and them thing is screwing one out of it, is of the age and them thing they answer. So, no, how it become, it got to be rape. No, there must have been instances of rape, right? Maybe it's been covered up, but that's not by the most part indoctrination that women were sent to the national service to be raped. You understand? So, it really add up. They make no sense to me.
Here's the other thing I want to say, right? The disbandment of the national service was a real disservice to Guyana. Because you look around society today, we have a lot of young people who are out there. And despite having so many trade schools in Guyana, GTI, GITC, etc., right? These managers up on the corner smoking and, contemplating how to make a fast dollar. Nobody's thinking about having a trade. And then when the vice president and the president gets up on the television and say, listen, we have a labor shortage and we got to start importing labor. Everybody up in arms. But this is the reality. You had a national service that was able to equip some people with some skills, right?
You see, here
make a good contribution to society.
No, but here I want to agree with you there.
In front of us.
I want to agree with you there. But in light of the failures of the ideas that Burnham would have had, great ideas that failed, right? Because you look at it now, you realize these things would work. No, it maybe his ideas were not of the time. Maybe he didn't have everything together. But if you look at that, you have to notice that the Indian man with time would have never subscribed to a national service idea, because it was not or is not indicative of Indian cultural norms here. Because when you go to India, the police, the soldier, everybody's Indian. You understand? But the norms that we became accustomed to the Indian was the merchant. You understand? He became the merchant, the farmer, He there on a thing. So the national service ID might not have caught on. And obviously the PPP did not help it. Because who else could have carried the rumor of the rapes of the girls and all? Who else could have carried off create a disdain that don't even want to hear about national service? You understand? And if national service... Huh?
Last thing I want to say. Now, I must commend the president and the VP and so on for pushing all the efforts to reduce our food import bills, right? But you see, once again, it goes back to an idea Barnum had started years ago. So let me try and be self-sufficient. Here, everybody now talking about, oh, he banned this, he banned that. But the man really was trying to make Guyanese people self-sufficient so that we don't have a situation we have now, where you have a very high import food bill, you know.
My brother,
and our dependency on, you know, foreign stuff.
If I could help you in understanding. If I could help you in understanding.
Yeah, go ahead.
So every great dictator had things, yes. Every great dictator had things that they wanted to do and foisted or forced on their people. Every great dictator know that, well, here, this thing here is a good thing. So food security of the time was a good thing. What did that mean? Look at Jagdeo today. Look at Irfan Ali today. Look at what they do. So they're moving out people from Moko for Bella Highway for everybody, and nicer people. They want to move people from Tiger Bay. They move out people from Lamaha Street, which is now is a walkway to benefit everybody. But those people went on to be very wealthy people who will move out, the squatters who will move out from there. They got something. You could not come at a time when we had so much unease in this country and decide this is what you're going to do. But the main things that affected was aloo, flour, what a cross section of people that was of a level of importance to them. You understand?
No, but I think we already established, you know, how we get to the place where we had for lack of a better term, a disruption in the supply chain for wheat, right?
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Yeah. So no, but what I'm saying, it might have been a good idea, but I get it at the end. Like I can remember, I might have been about 5 years of age, standing at the head of Garnet Street, and there was this thing like a war tank, but it had wheels, and Burnham coffin said to be that if Burnham was on it and being wheeled along the road with a flag and you know, that is if my recollection is correct. I don't know if they went down Sher Street, but I remember being somewhere there by a traffic light holding my mom's hands. We went there to see that. I don't know. There's the Mandela effect, whereas you think you saw things and it's not what you saw. But I think at the age of 5, that is what I experienced at Burnham's funeral. And, you know, right after that, are we going to blame the failures on... Because nothing was going on, everything was going down. So you had these amazing things that happened, great ideas, but they were not in unison with the people of the time. Look at the Jagdeo Irfan Ali leadership now. Like yesterday, I went to Housing, and I could say the service down at Housing, I can't think, the service is atrocious. When I see the lines of people and things, it reminds me of going into the American embassy. But you know what I watch and I see? I'll tell you about the service just now. So a girl come with an attitude, but trick. I don't know where she been. Maybe she been doing something. She come with an attitude and they don't know a bull fudging foot what they doing. They ain't got nothing planned, they ain't got nothing programmed. I record the whole thing, by the way. There's like a comment tag, chippiness, and I just pose a fudging video. So I'm there to collect a document. I'm there with somebody who gone to collect 2 documents that they call and were told that this is the thing. You gotta go in a line for come and collect a document that you're called and told to come in for. You understand? They make no sense. You make an appointment of a certain time, you'll hear this is the but you know why the system is a black girl. Not to say the Indian girls in the place in the instruments was a black girl. And when I go there, I felt disturbed at the same time I felt proud. Because I'm seeing black people, Amerindian people, Indian people. I see Guyanese there collecting the house lot, signing thing, Rasta lady. You understand? And I look at it and I'm saying, oh my God, watch things were going on in this country. Watch how much people collecting the house lot. How did I stand up and I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with that. I have to register my disdain for what I see going on there. But there are hundreds of people in and out of housing that are going to receive house lots that are going to be empowered in their life now. And when I got there, I watched and I said, this is ungratefulness to the fullest. You know why? When you hear the PNC talk, about how things bad and what's going on in this country, and I watch the people that are in the housing ministry collecting house lots, getting allocations and everything else, when I watch them, not to say I want to come out and march, but nobody's putting build that place and say, no man, where are these people? Where did 1,000 people would recently get house lots there? Maybe says 15,000 of them is black people. Why at some point in time people don't accept the truth and say, man, listen to me. I have never gotten, this is why I get now. You could stack all kind of thing about Bornum, Jagbu, this, that coming through. But here, at this time, I could safely say, I am at a better place because I get this. When you go in there, partner, they got more mixed with Indian, they got more Indian people walking inside. Bear in mind, I just did it for half an hour window period, right? But what I walk into is more Indian people walking inside housing, moving around. I see them Indian girls and noticing them moving around inside housing than the Indian people who are collecting house that. They ain't watching face, man, woman, black camera. They ain't watching face. Things are going places are going. I don't like, in general, it might be me. But I get the opinion the girl had an attitude. Like, you don't know what you're doing. At one time I say, man, look, you take the girl number. You take the number, and you call whenever you get your shit started out. Because you imagine me, the Guyanese Critic, the woman who ended a big business woman. Gone and stand up in a line waiting for fucking housing, give me some that. That's bullshit. You understand? It make no sense. And me going to ask them for nothing. They're supposed to have documents to hand over. And next man up on the phone talking puss. Yes, he already started and this and that, he know what's going on. None of them know what's going on. Me supposed to got call nobody. I'm supposed to say, man, listen, you got document for me. One time she asking. She asks, you have ID and thing and maybe you gotta come with some receipt or something, right? Where the fucking paper there? Where the lease there? You ask her for a receipt. Where the lease there? You know we can get it out now. So you got your receipt. Where you lease there? Where the document that I got to give you a receipt for to collect? Where there? You ain't got it. It's bullshit that they're upon. You gotta get yourself organized in a sort of, you go in a place, one set of people all about the place, one set of paper, mass confusion. You understand? When I go there, no, it's two-part. It's two-part because nothing. I calculate, yo, these will get in house lot. Today when I watch this groupie, and this is the conveyance department. So that mean when you day in day, you getting through. Conveyance is signing and, you understand? Agreement and all them things. This is movements, you know. So I got the problem while watching and I'm watching at the fact that people get in house lot and I'm saying in my mind how Guyanese are ungrateful. Because where these people is there, these is the same people who have a cast to live in and think bad and this and then collecting house at the same time. Crying through one corner of their mouth and collecting and sucking a straw from the other corner of their mouth. It ain't easy. You understand?
Yeah.
Hey, we talk, bro.
Take it easy.
I gotta be real about it. When I go there, she asked me the receipt. You're supposed to call nobody for things. You gotta be professional when you do it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Yeah, buddy, how can I help you?
Yes, Critic, you mentioned some great names. You might have missed Nelson Mandela. Okay,
Nelson Mandela.
One question I would like to ask is there any update on the elders' investigation into the Aubrey Norton and Vanessa Kissoon case? I'll hang up and listen to your comment after. Thanks.
There's not been any update that I have come across. The thing is, Vanessa Kissoon did not make a report to the police station. Vanessa, I don't know if she made a report to the police, but it makes no sense. Vanessa Kissoon at the time was trying to derail Aubrey Norton from vying for the position of opposition leader. That is all that was. Right? Vanessa Kissoon story did not add up. It didn't make any sense at the time. So I think I would prefer to say let sleeping dogs lie, because that was basically dog behavior. So let's move on to, so this lady, look at this, my God. So I received the report of this lady here having an accident in her home, suggesting that a gas cylinder exploded or some kind of a leak caused an explosion. And these things have to be investigated thoroughly before we could. This is just a sad situation. I'm going to be following up with this story. This woman, I don't know how she's treating this, but these are serious burns. You might not know, but the skin is the largest organ in the body. You know that, Robbie? The human skin, it's the largest organ, right? That makes up the body, not in the body, because the body is, most of everything else is in the skin. So that's the largest organ, and when it has a level of burns, it affects you a certain way, right? So this is video of the home.
PTA. This is my situation. This resulted from an explosion. This is my shop, the western wall. This resulted from an explosion with a leaking gas bottle from Dokal. This is the shop.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This whole big entrance that you see in here, the post there, to this post, there was a wall, a whole big wall. This is the northern side. There's a whole big wall. There was an explosion in the shop. My wife lighted the stove, she didn't know. And there was a whole explosion. And the whole back wall fall off, coming down. These are the shelves. We have to empty the shelves. We carry a lot of losses. This is the roof you're seeing. The whole roof went off. The whole wall damage.
That is a major explosion. That's some serious shit. So this seems to be just after. Oh my God.
I'll leave you for sex food.
The roof fly off. Hey, good morning, brother.
Well, good morning, bro. You still alive?
Yeah.
All right. My little contribution to the topic, right, is a number of things when you look at Burnham. First of all, my opinion is that Burnham and Chetty should have never split. I want on the record saying that. right? There's the first thing, the CIA and the same people, colonizers people and the supremacists get to do the divide and rule. So you must not only talk divide and rule, you must understand divide and rule. The lady was talking about national service. That was the days of the Cold War. Guyana up to now still got a weak military. So when we advance from then back to today, and I'm going to make my point relevant, we still got a weak military. While Russia, Venezuela were there for punks, we ask now. All these countries use that time to advance the military recognition and build strength. Thirdly, all the industries were started. We have soap factory, match factory, milk factory. All we will go to school with 48 years today, ice 48 plus. You understand? We have milk factory, the milk box in the biscuits, in the school thing. Today they got Tapco and whatever they're giving them. I'm just saying, calling who's who. You understand? But let me don't get mixed up with having a military might and having a militant people. You understand? Cuba was successful. All these other countries were successful. They have to understand its time and the relevance of the time to do things. Today, the problem is, and people looking at PPP and APNU, look at what APNU do with the AL contract and the AL money versus what PPP doing today. And let people call a spade and call a fork. You understand? You see greater advancement. You see definite signs of our people able to manage or leadership as they call it. Right? Is then your house, if you're weak, somebody's got to be, you might be the man, but you might know where in the pants at every time. The woman might got the strength, the leadership qualities. But definitely these guys has far from grace, in my opinion. And I'm entitled to it. Right? The worst thing that ever happened is for Barnum and Chetty to split and have the colonizers put them against one another. Right?
Well, I think it would have been
Bank and all of that. Those were things that like now with President Ali was to set the country on a certain trajectory. And now we here moving forward.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Right? So everything got its time and its place. Now we weak like grass. Look at we military. And we can look at we military now. People want to joke up people and take phone. Maybe they go up on the bar and joke up. People that robbing people coming out with the little contract and that kind of why they don't want and go to the bar and tie the energy there. Right? We young people, young men, we losing them in jail to petty crimes. Why we don't get a boot camp and militarize these guys? Let these guys, I don't want to say the equivalent of the national service, but put the energies in some way where it needs to go. Nobody wants to stand up and fight Santa Michael. Fight man all we punch. Everybody pulling out a gun now and done your dance. Alright? So when we put all of this in the blender and look at the country, because all of these Guyanese, born and Chetty Guyanese, and nobody can bullshit me when it comes to them two men. Nobody. You understand?
I hear you, brother.
The fact, brother. Later.
Roger that. So, guys, I got to take my leave. I got a 9 o'clock court, Zoom court. And, I'm hoping that, as always, I've been real. The program has been informational, educational. When we go on to have a next day and look forward to tomorrow, learn new things again. Condolences to the Gaffurs family. Let's take one last call. Hello, good morning. Oh, shit. All right, cool. Peace out.